Hey, it's Dylan, the Dungeon Master for Fateful Encounters Tuesday night stream Curse of Strahd. I goofed, and I apologize. I thought I downloaded episode 25, which was named To Satiate the Hunger. But I downloaded the wrong video from Twitch, the wrong VOD, and it's lost. I'm sorry. To make it up to you, I'm going to do my best to summarize that session, as it was kind of an eventful session. So, we started off, the group woke up in the morning in the village of Kresk, and decided to head off in the direction of the Abbey of St. Markovia at the top of the mountain in Kresk. Upon leaving the Burgomaster's house, they saw the Burgomaster and a villager they'd never seen before heading off to the north. They decided it was none of their business and started heading up the mountain. As they did so, they passed basically the entire village of Kresk, also heading off to the north with torches and pitchforks. Deciding that, alright, we better go see what's going on, they made their way to the north side of Kresk where the village sheep were being tended. It's a farm that is specifically for keeping livestock to feed the village through winter, provide them wool and other such resources. As they arrived there, they found the angry mob shouting at a large man in a fetal position, head under his hands. Dmitry Kreskov, the Burgomaster, the Baron of Kresk, was standing off to the side, not a part of the mob, but his wife was absolutely part of the mob. In fact, she was not leading the mob, but she was definitely directing the mob's anger to this man who is named Luca. They were quite upset at Luca for letting all the sheep get killed. The farm itself had no signs of any sheep, no blood, no bones, no wool, nothing. Just the sheep were gone. With winter coming, the village of Kresk was at the point of starvation, as their main source of food through the winter was now gone. In their anger, in their fear, they blamed Luca and were about to kill him. The group stepped in defense of Luca, as they didn't like seeing a whole 50 people bullying one person needlessly. Through a couple of intimidation checks and Thistle using the gift of her friend to grow large and shift, the group successfully scared off the angry mob and saved Luca from a horrible fate. As they were confronting Anna Kreskov, they heard a scream from the center of the biggest cluster of houses in the village. As they ran there to investigate what had happened, they saw the small boy Illa Kreskov, Dmitry and Anna's son, crouched over something. As they got a closer look, it was a dead body. Illa was covered in blood, turned to look at them with sorrow in his eyes, and managed to get out only, "Sorry," before his mouth opened and continued to split open down the sides of his mouth, down the sides of his neck, turning his entire head and neck into one large jaw. The group proceeded to try and kill this monster. Alistair tried a number of tricks, silver, salt, holy water, none of which seemed to work, as this creature was an abomination, a construct. The group was entirely unprepared to fight something like this. Not only was this the child that they had given a bagpipe to and worshipped them as heroes when they first arrived, their first friendly contact, but it was also bizarre. It spit bubbles of acid that hit them and wounded them greatly. They all got very close to death in this fight before Alistair, with what was the last of his strength almost, sacrificed his arm, shoving it down the creature's throat and using one of his daggers to pin the mouth closed between his forearm bones, and then slicing off his arm to keep the mouth shut, which prevented the creature from consuming more flesh, spitting more acid bubbles, and as Thistle moonbeamed this creature, it melted from the waist up into just bones. Anna Kreskov coddled the half of the body that she could, sobbing. There was a heated exchange between the group and Anna. Anna just trying to protect her son. When she had brought him to the abbot to bring him to life, or attempt to bring him back to life, it worked. But the boy was hungry, and that hunger only grew. She eventually stole one or two of the sheep from the village to feed her child. She didn't know that he had snuck out that night to eat the entire flock and was still hungry, but she just wanted to protect her boy, her child. It got out of hand very quickly. She lost control of the situation, but she still did what she did for her child. She showed remorse for the outcome, but justified herself in just saying that he was my boy. The group asked Anna if they could take a long rest at her house, despite it only being like 8 a.m. They were bloodied, battered, beaten, scarred. And they asked the mother of the child they just killed if they could go sleep in her house that they had just woken up inside not an hour ago. And that's where we ended.